Hi, everyone. I'm Dr. Gina Pritchard, and today I want to talk about the ketogenic lifestyle, the ketogenic diet, keto, or therapeutic nutritional ketosis. So, keto or the keto diet is trendy, and it's been trendy off and on since the 1980s when Dr. Atkins, at least that's where I first heard about the keto lifestyle or the keto diet, was from Dr. Atkins' original work and books. And I lost weight in college and felt great following his plan. However, I've learned so much since then. And I realize now that a lot of what I was eating was helping my body, and definitely helping my body by lowering my carbohydrate intake. But also, I was putting toxins in my body by using some of the Atkins bars and Atkins products at the time. So today, I want to clear up some confusion. And if you want to feel great, if you want to look great, if you want to perform better and have bliss in life, able to focus on the things that are most important to you because your health is so great, then listen up, because I want to tell you what indeed are the benefits of a ketogenic lifestyle, of the ketogenic diet, and what is it is where I'll start. So it essentially is putting your body into a state of moderate ketosis, meaning your liver is producing ketones. And when your liver produces ketones, it's an indication that you have moved away from using sugar or carbohydrates or glucose for fuel to perform and to do the things you need to do throughout the day. But rather, now you've turned into a fat burning machine, which is a good thing. Your body burns excess fat on your body when you're in ketosis. And so you get into ketosis by lowering or eliminating your carbohydrate intake. There are people that get upset about eliminating an entire macro group, eliminating the carbohydrates. Well, that's not exactly what I'm saying. You can have some carbohydrates if you want, but here are the therapeutic nutritional ketosis guidelines that Dr. Gina recommends. Number one, eat only real food: meat, plants, fruits and vegetables. And some people can get away with some dairy, but you want high quality, full fat dairy like heavy whipping cream or full fat plain yogurt. It's not easy to find, but there are some out there. And you want good, healthy fats, which is the fat that comes from animal sources only, such as beef broth, beef tallow, lard. Butter is fine, and avocado oil and olive oil. Leave everything else alone. Everything else, unless it comes from an animal or it's avocado oil or olive oil. So if you focus on real food and you focus on eating it in a delicious way, we have some great recipes, but not adding things to it that then make a delicious, real food that's nutritious for your fat burning body into a toxin because you've put something on it or in it or with it that is not in line with the therapeutic nutritional ketosis lifestyle. So you start by eliminating everything from your kitchen. We have a kitchen clean out or pantry clean out night when we start a new ketogenic program. And you throw away everything but what I've just talked about: protein, fat, and then if you want some vegetables and fruit, those would be your carbohydrates, and some very specific dairy products if you tolerate dairy. Okay. I also have a few other recommendations for items that you can have that don't have carbs in them, but they can add to the enjoyment of this type of lifestyle. So anyway, why would you want to do this? Why would you want to lower your carbohydrate intake and get into ketosis? One is just for overall health. We know that running on your excess body fat and running with ketones in a moderate range, your brain works better, your organs work better, your body works better. It's a healthy lifestyle. So not only is it great for overall health, but it's great for weight loss. So it's great for long-term weight loss. Whenever you get into ketosis, you feel so good. And the weight, particularly the excess body fat, not just any kind of weight, but it's most important what makes up that weight that you see on the scale. And you want to have plenty of muscle on your body. and very little fat, certainly no excess fat. So weight loss, easy weight loss, and long-term weight loss is definitely possible on the ketogenic lifestyle. Improved insulin sensitivity. So what does that even mean? You hear a lot of people talk about metabolic rate, metabolic flexibility, metabolic resilience. So when we think about metabolism, it's really our body turning our nutrients into energy, and almost every aspect of health has a metabolic pathway attached to it with that particular organ or that particular bodily process. But as a global term, metabolic pathways are the way that our body converts what we eat and what we breathe and what we drink into energy so that we feel our best, so we have overall health, and so that we live the longest. And as I stated, those things should be protein and fat primarily, with no carbohydrates or with very little specifically selected carbohydrates that would come from real food, vegetables, and plants. So insulin problems or insulin resistance, obviously the opposite of insulin sensitivity, and glucose dysregulation, or I say the way that insulin and glucose communicate with each other or behave together, leads to diabetes unless that particular metabolic pathway is healthy. So whenever we're eating protein and fat, the body responds appropriately, and the glucose will not rise or will rise very little, because our primary fuel source is fat and protein. It's a non-carbohydrate. And after that, you don't need very much insulin output from the pancreas, and the cells get exactly what they need. That's not true when you're eating a lot of carbohydrates. What we see not only on our blood work that we get on patients, but on a continuous glucose monitor that you can put on your arm and measure your glucose for 14 days, crazy spikes and oftentimes very deep valleys when it comes to the glucose level. And you know, when you're seeing that on the glucose level, then the insulin mechanism, which involves more than just the pancreas, but your response from putting out the appropriate amount of insulin in order for your body to deal with all of that glucose elevation, goes crazy. That's one of the reasons people feel terrible when they eat carbohydrates. Certainly when they eat too many carbohydrates, and then when they eat too many or any processed carbohydrates. Those should go out of your house and should go away from your life. I would recommend that you decide to do it for 90 days. Just decide you're going to do it for 90 days. This is Dr. Gina saying goodbye, and thank you for listening.